This is your boy Brogi Naric back again with another episode of the Playhouse. And in this series, I give my various thoughts and fan castings for movies, TV shows, sometimes ideas on video games. And in this video, I'm going to be giving my fan casting picks for the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender series, which will be on Netflix in the foreseeable future, because we don't know when this thing is coming out. It was announced back in 2018 that this series is going to be happening, and it's going to have the two creators of the original cartoon to be a part of it. And that's great, huge thing to hear, because that movie that M. Night Shyamalan did was trash. And I can officially say it's trash because I recently finished the Avatar series on Netflix, because I started watching it years ago when it first came out, never finished it. Recently finished it on Netflix, and it lives up to the hype. It is amazing. It's worth your time. Check it out. And like I said, this series is loved by millions. I'm a new fan, and I was blown away by it. And I wanted to give my picks on who I would like to see in this series, because there was some controversy with the movie, bad acting, bad direction really for M. Night Shyamalan. There was some whitewashing of certain characters were changed, names were mispronounced. It was bad. It was a bad handling of the source material. So before I get into this video, I just want to say don't forget to give this video a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for more videos. So thanks for doing that. And the series, which originally aired on Nickelodeon, which I think is one of the reasons why, especially when they did the Korra series, it was kind of mishandled, because Nickelodeon was not used to doing drawn, action-oriented, sort of serious TV shows with like overarching storylines and plots. That wasn't really their deal. They liked something that was short, simple, goofy cartoons that kids loved, and your SpongeBob's, your Jimmy Neutrons, your Rugrats, stuff that was simple, not something quite as layered as this. I think if Avatar was on Cartoon Network, it would have lasted even longer than what it did, and wouldn't have got screwed around as much as Korra did. So this new series that's going to be on Netflix is going to be showran by the two original creators of the cartoon, Michael DiMartino and Brian Conetizoko. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. Those two guys, they're going to be involved, which is great, because they have an idea of how this should go down. Like I said, it was announced in 2018, and then they've been slowly, since these guys have never done live action, they're kind of struggling with the process, which can be good or bad. But then, of course, with the whole COVID stuff happening, that's kind of shut down a lot of productions. And it's sad, because after watching that movie, which was just bad, it's not good. There's really no redeeming qualities about it. Not a single, the costumes, especially, nothing redeeming about that. It was a disservice, and I would like to see it done right. So I'm just going to hop into my casting choices. But for those who don't know, the series Avatar: The Last Airbender focused in this make-believe, mystical, sort of steampunkish world. Is mostly Asian cultures are depicted throughout this, and there's these different nations that live throughout the continents, and they form around the different four elements: earth, fire, wind, and water. And this one person is called the Avatar, who can control all four elements, and they're supposed to provide peace. One of them dies. It's like a lineage. One dies. The Fire Nation starts to take over, and then the Avatar went missing. He comes back, and he's a little kid, and he has to quickly learn all the skills in order to stop the Fire Nation from taking over the world. And that's a simple way of describing the series, but fun. There's a lot of humor, adventure, weird animals, life lessons, great character development. It's really good series. You should check it out. So to start the video off, I'm going to start with the main character of the series, who is Aang, the Last Airbender. Aang, not Ung, like in the movie. Jesus. So my pick to play Aang is Lucas J. Now, Lucas J is a young actor. He's 12 years old. You may recognize him from a couple of episodes of Fuller House. He's been in a recent movie. I forget what it was called, but he's a young kid. The reason there was another kid I was gonna pick, but I went with Lucas J because he has the most acting experience out of the two, and that's was one of my criteria when I chose certain kid actors. I wanted to pick kid actors who had a certain amount of experience. Aang is part of the air nomads because each avatar is reincarnated under a different element. His was air. He was a kid. He didn't want to be an avatar, so he ran away. He got caught up in like a snowstorm, and he was trapped for 100 years. He's discovered by these two kids, and he realizes the world is different. So now he has to try to reconcile, kind of like Captain America. He's a man out of time, but he's still a kid. So everyone he's known is dead, except for like a few people. He has his pet sky bison, Appa. There's a lemur bat named Momo. That's like an ancient animal that he knew that's still alive. And then there's some other people from his lifetime that he runs into. But everyone thought he was gone, but he's back, and he has to learn to control the four elements. He's a fun character. He's very much your Luke Skywalker, your basic hero. He's a bit of a prankster. He's naive. He's still learning. He's still a kid. He wants to have fun. But he's also pretty awesome. He's a pacifist. He doesn't like to necessarily unjustly hurt people. That's how he was raised. And he's a fun character. So hopefully in this series they can bring the fun out of this character, because in the Shyamalan movie he was very bland. For some reason every face he made he looked like he was sad. I really blame that on Shyamalan's direction, because everyone in that movie seemed like a friggin' robot. It was weird. So that's my pick for Aang. Next on the list is Katara, and my pick for her is Scarlett Johansson. No, I'm sorry. I'm joking. That's a joke. My pick for Katara is Sienna Agudong, who is a young actress. She is 16 years old. She was on some Nickelodeon show. And she was on a series called Star Falls, which is on Netflix. And she seems nice. There was another actress I was going to pick, but I went with her. And Katara is a cool character. She's the main female character. It's sort of the love interest for Aang's character. She's from the Southern Water Tribe, and she has her brother. And she's the only waterbender in her tribe, and she becomes like one of the best waterbenders in the world. And she's a cool character. She's very she's kind, but she's like a badass as well, but she's a very caring person. She's a bit naive. She has trust issues. She's sheltered, but she's going on this big adventure, so she has trouble getting to know other people. But she's also kind of like the mom of the group, which is I always compare her to like Marge Simpson, where she's kind of a downer to a degree. Like, she doesn't mean to be, but she's so like upright that she kind of brings things down. But it's a fun vibe that she has. But Katara is dope. She can kick ass, and I think this young girl will be able to pull it off. She seems very expressive. I haven't really seen much of her work, but I think she'll do a good job. Next on the list is my second favorite character from the show, and that is Sokka. Once again, Sokka. Although I'm pretty sure I'm going to mix it up. That movie screwed with my mind. But Sokka, the brother of Katara. And my pick to play Sokka is Marcel Ruiz. Now, he's a young actor. He's 16 years old as well. You may recognize him from the show One Day at a Time. Never seen that, but it's been around for a while. And Sokka is from the Southern Water Tribe as well. He's her brother. He has no abilities, but he's like a young warrior. He's like the team strategist to a degree. He's also the goofball. He's the funny one of the team. And this kid was on the sitcom. He can handle comedic acting, and he's got a little bit of a following. And that was one of the. And he's like got the acting experience. Those were like the main reasons why I picked him. Now I couldn't actually find any actual Inuits, Indian, Asiatic kids, so I went with two sort of Hispanic kids. They're brown. I went with two brown kids, which is better than what the movie did. All right, don't shoot me. I did the best I could with what I had, so that's why I picked those two. It's better than what they did with Shyamalan. So I think these two could pull it off. Sokka's dope. He's a fun character. And yeah, he's great. So next on the list is that of my favorite character from Avatar: The Last Bender. That is Toph. And my pick to play Toph is Aubrey Anderson Emmons. You know, she's 13 years old now. You may, of course, recognize her as Lily from Modern Family, the little Asian girl that was raised by Cam and I can't remember the other guy's name. But yeah, she's grown up now, and she's like, her character Lily was very like sarcastic, and she would always talk trash to everyone, even when she was like a little girl. And that's basically Toph's character. She's this tough, hard ass who's like, she's a rich, spoiled girl, but she's also she's a free spirit, and she doesn't like being contained by others because she's handicapped. She's blind, and she grew up with these overprotective parents, and she doesn't like that. She doesn't like people controlling her, and she likes to be free, and she just happens to be the greatest earthbender in the friggin' world. Like, she is dope. She's a hard ass, and she's kind of a, she's a tough person, and she's awesome. She just talks trash, she jokes around. She likes to joke about the fact that she can't see certain things. There's some good jokes about her being blind, but she's kind of got the sort of like Daredevil, where she can do a little echolocation, but it's through her feet, so she can't see everything, but if it's through the ground, she can see around her. She's awesome. She's my favorite character, and I think Aubrey can really pull that off. She really seems like she can bring that vibe, and she's has a lot of experience with being on Modern Family. She's also on the team because she's an earthbender. She trains Aang. She's on the team because she trains Aang in the ways of earthbending, because he has to learn from different people, and she's destined to be his teacher. Now, she would be my pick, but I got a sneaky feeling it's gonna actually be Ella J. Basco. You may recognize her from Birds of Prey. She played Cassandra Cain. I hope they don't pick her, and there's a reason why I think she's gonna pick her, because she's related to someone who was on the show, Dante Basco, and I think she might have an in. Hopefully it's not gonna be her, because I don't think she's that good of an actress. But that's my pick for Toph. And last on the list for Team Avatar is that of Suki, leader of the Kyoshi Warriors. And my pick to play Suki is Quvenzhané Wallis. Yes, Quvenzhané Wallis. You may recognize her from when she was a little girl. She was at the Oscars. She's got an Oscar nomination. Don't remember the movie, but she was also Black Annie. Remember Black Annie? It happened. I didn't see it either, but it happened. And she's older now. She's recently had some episodes on Blackish. And one of the reasons I picked her is because she has like the most experience out of these kid actors. And I like her as an actress. There was another actress I had, but she didn't have the experience, and I didn't quite think she was a good enough fit. So I decided to go with Quvenzhané. Yes, Suki is not black, but I don't care right now. I wanted someone who I think could fill in the role. I think she'll do a good job. Suki is the leader of a group called Kyoshi Warriors, who worship the Avatar Kyoshi, who was a recent Avatar, and they're on an island, and they dress up like her, and they're like a girl army of badasses, and she's the leader. She's also Sokka's girlfriend later on in the series. And she's like one of my favorite characters in the show. She's dope. She disappears for a while. She's a good, strong side character. So I went with this actress. It's just how I felt. So that's my pick. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Next up is Avatar Roku. And my pick to play Avatar Roku is Ken Watanabe. Ken Watanabe, great Japanese actor. You'll recognize him from the recent Godzilla reboots. He was also Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins. He's been in other movies. And Avatar Roku is an important character who was not in the movies, although he kind of was. I think they made him a dragon for some weird reason. He's not a dragon. He's an actual person who had a dragon, but whatever. And if Aang is Luke Skywalker, then Roku is kind of like the Obi-Wan / Yoda of, mostly the Obi-Wan of Aang. He was the Avatar before Aang, and he comes back as a ghost and kind of gives him hints and trains him, gives him little hints about what happened in the past and some information that he needs. He's a very important character, and he's a really cool character too. And I think you should get someone who is a known name, but known veteran actor to kind of pop in as like various cameos. And I think Ken Watanabe is big enough, and also hopefully I think they have enough budget they can pull him in. So he's not too big. So that's my reasons for picking Ken Watanabe. Another person on the list I have is that of Hakoda, who is the father of Katara and Sokka. And my pick to play him is Dante Basco. Dante Basco, you may remember as Rufio from Hook, but he's also the voice of Prince Zuko in the actual cartoon, and I thought it would be a cool cameo role for him to come in as Sokka and Katara's dad. Just thought it would be cool. Why not? He's dope. He can use the work. So that's a quick character cameo. Now to get into the villains of the series, I'm going to start off with the bad boy, Prince Zuko. And my pick for him is Lance Lim. Lance Lim is a 19-year-old actor. You may recognize him from the Nickelodeon series School of Rock. And he's also been on some episodes of Fresh Off the Boat, and I believe he's a musician. So he's been doing things. I haven't seen any of it, but he's been doing things. He's got a little bit of a following. Prince Zuko is dope, great character. He was mishandled in the movie, just didn't have the right intensity or badass factor. He's a badass. That's one thing. Zuko he's the prince of the Fire Nations, the king. He's got an abusive dad who's the reason why he has the scar, and he's dishonored, so he's eager to get his honor, and the only way he feels he can do that is he's tasked with capturing the Avatar. Once the Avatar is known to be back, it's his job to track him down and actually catch him. Because at first he wasn't necessarily sure if he was still out there, or was he still around, so it was sort of like a big goose chase, and then it's like, oh, he's there, and he does everything in his power to try to capture him. And he goes on this awesome redemption arc, one of the best redemption arcs in I think history. It's handled really well. How he starts out as this bratty kid, and then he slowly becomes just an awesome good guy. He's basically what J.J. Abrams and Disney was trying to do with Kylo Ren, which I like Kylo Ren, but Zuko does it way better. It's basically he's the Kylo Ren of Avatar, but really good. And, Firebender, badass. And I think Lance Lim could pull it off. Once again, haven't seen much of his stuff, but I think he can pull it off. Got a good look. And, of course, you can't have Zuko without Uncle Iroh. And my pick to play Uncle Iroh is Benedict Wong. Now, you, of course, may recognize him as Wong from the Doctor Strange movies and within the MCU. And he was also on the show Deadly Class, which I didn't see. I heard it was good. He's in that show as well. And this was the reason why I started this list, because he was the first person I cast. So I was like, I got to get Uncle Iroh right. And I think he can do it. He's got a rough voice like the original voice actor Mako. He's got the look. He's a heavyset guy. But he also looks like a tough guy as well. And Iroh was the former head general of the Fire Nation. He was former in line to be king, but then certain things happened where he lost that. He failed at a battle, so he lost sort of his ranking and his respect, and he's tasked with keeping an eye on Zuko, and he's more of a father to Zuko than his actual father is, and he's slowly mentoring him to be more on the path of good. And Iroh's a dope character, and I think Benedict Wong can really pull it off. The whole thing with he had a son who died. He's got a soft side, but he also has he's a wacky, goofy guy. He's obsessed with tea. That's like jasmine tea. That's like his thing. Fun character. And I think Benedict Wong can really pull it off. Alright, next up is Commander Zhao, who was one of the head generals. Well, he was a lower ranking military guy in the Fire Nation, and he works his way up. And he's like the main villain of the first season. And my pick to play Commander Zhao is Daniel Wu. And if you've seen this series, the AMC series, Into the Badlands, he was like the main character in that series, and I think he would be a great. He'll be great to pull this role off. Not too big of a villain role, but he's the standard arrogant military guy who wants fame and power. He has a rivalry with Prince Zuko, and he's very arrogant, and he does his best to try to kill the Avatar, and of course he fails. And it's not too deep of a character. They can add a little more to him if they want, but I think Daniel Wu can pull it off, especially when they have to do the fighting stuff. Because this guy is a martial artist, really good, and I think he'll be good in the role. Another villain I have, he's like one of the side main villains of Book 2, Season 2, and that is Long Feng. And my pick to play Long Feng is B.D. Wong. B.D. Wong, you of course recognize from Law & Order SVU. He was also in the Jurassic Park movies, and he's a really good actor. Oh, and he was on Gotham too. He played Hugo Strange. Really good actor. The reason I picked him is because he's a great character actor, and he has an interesting voice, and that's what they had in the cartoon. They had Clancy Brown do his character, and he's a politician who works with the Earth Kingdom, and he works for the king, but he's secretly controlling the king, and he has his own little secret service group called the Dai Li that are keeping the king oblivious to the actual world and the war outside, and he's like slowly trying to amass this power and keep things under his control. And he's got like mind control device and all that. He's an interesting side character. I think B.D. Wong would be a great veteran actor to pull in to handle that character. And of course, he does a lot of speaking. That character, he's not really a big fighter, and I think B.D. Wong would fit perfectly for that. So now I'm going to get into some of the main bigger villains throughout the series, and I'm going to start with Ty Lee. And my pick to play Ty Lee is Issa Penarejo. Now, Issa Penarejo is a young actress. She's 20. She's a dancer. She was on the series Project MC Squared, which I never saw. I think it's Disney. I think it's a Disney Channel thing. Might be Nickelodeon or Netflix. Some series, but she has a dancing background, which plays into Ty Lee's character, because her character is like an acrobat and a circus performer, a bit of a contortionist, and she's this goofy, sort of bubbly character who is bullied by the other main villains, who's a friend of the main villain, but also kind of bullied by her to be her one of her henchmen. And she's a fun character. She's goofy and bubbly, and I think Yesenia can pull it off. Like her dancing background, I think, really pulls it off. Will help her pull it off, and she's a fun side character. Next up on the list is that of May, who is also part of this group, and my pick to play May is Madison Hu. She's an 18-year-old actress. She was on the series Bizaardvark, which I believe is a Disney series, and she looks like Wu. I mean, she looks like May. She really does. Like, I was gonna pick her for another character, but when I really thought about it, like, she really looks like May. She's got that stern, kind of like posh, uppity face. May is part of this group. She's part of the upper crust of the Fire Nation, and she's deadly. She's like very sort of reserved, but she's like very deadly with blades. And she's also the love interest of Prince Zuko. And I think she can pull this off. I've seen her, just her vibe, and I think she can really pull off the May vibe very well. So that's my pick for May. Next on the list is my third favorite character in the show, and that is Princess Azula. And my pick to play her is Chelsea Zhang. Chelsea Zhang is a young actress. She's 23 years old. You may recognize her as Ravager on Titans. I know her from the show Daybreak, which is on Netflix. She does a very good job in that. And Chelsea Zhang she has an athletic background. She was like a training to be an Olympic skater when she was a little kid. And I think her athletic background plays big into playing Azula, because Azula is like a deadly martial artist. She is Prince Zuko's sister, and she's absolutely insane. She's cold, calculating, and power hungry. And she's a great character. She's like a great villain. And and she's very loyal to her father. She wants to rule so bad. She backstabs anyone. She's very untrustworthy, but she's also very manipulative and just an awesome character. And I think Chelsea Zhang could really get into this role. Deadly with her lightning abilities, and also she has her goofy moments because she's so dedicated to being evil. She comes off as a weirdo to everyone else. Other people don't really want to deal with her like that. She's a fun character. She starts to lose her mind as the series goes on. Once she finally gets power, she starts distrusting everybody and just looking like a maniac. She's an awesome character, and I think Chelsea Zhang would have a great time handling this role. And last but not least, that would be Fire Lord Ozai, and my pick to play him is Daniel Dae Kim. Of course, you'll recognize him from he was on Hawaii Five-0 before he got fired, and also on Lost. And Daniel Dae Kim is a great actor, great look, great voice, can really do really strong acting, and I think he would be great for this role because this is not like the meatiest, biggest role. He's very sort of basic, he's just evil guy who wants to rule the world, but he has strong honor to his family or his lineage, even though he killed his dad and did something with his wife, which is one of the things I hope they change in the series to actually explain what happened to Zuko's mom, because they kind of left that open-ended. I hope there's some certain touches that they either explain better or maybe change to make it just a little different from the show, but that's one of the things I hope they expand upon is what happened to Zuko's mom. But he's, evil guy, wants to rule the world, has a diabolical plan, a long plan in order for that to happen. Abusive, kind of weird with the wife, abused his son in front of everybody and scarred him for life, mentally and physically. And he's just no good. And I think Daniel Dae Kim would be a big enough name and veteran actor to fit into this role, to add a little, eyes and gravitas to the series. And also, I think if they can expand the role a little bit more, he would have fun with it. Because I don't really know many times where he's necessarily played a bad guy. He probably has, but I can't really think of it to my mind. He's usually played like the supporting side good guy. So it would be cool to have him have a chance to play crazy bad guy. And I think he would really get into it. So this is my list for Avatar, the Last Airbender Netflix series. Can't wait to see it. Hopefully they don't botch this. It's going to be hard to do as bad as that movie, but it's going to be a lot of pressure on these guys to really pull this off. It's going to, no matter how you look at the cast, there's going to be, people who are going to complain about this or that. It's going to be rough, especially with the whole whitewashing, trying to get everyone's race down. It's going to be tough. It's going to be weird, but this is just my suggestion. Hopefully they can do better. But I'm going to be willing and ready to see it. Go check it out. It's on Netflix. Great show. One of the best shows of the past 20 years. It's really good. And those are my picks. Let me know, what do you think of the list? Let me know some of your choices in the comments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're still growing. Had some recent growth. Thanks for the new subscribers for signing up. And don't forget to like this and share it. And stay tuned for more videos. Peace.